Hello, Cosmetics Business Live. I'm delighted to be here to talk to you about Bulldog and my new brand, Waken. My talk today is going to touch on two brands, mostly on Bulldog, and at the end, just on Waken. I think these brands share similar missions to disrupt mass market personal care, whether that's in male grooming or in dental. Amongst other things, I'm going to talk about how we're exploring alternative packaging materials, challenging the category norms in these particular markets that we compete in. And in both cases, why we've been excited to go on the journey to implement certifications like carbon neutrality. So this is me. Quick background on me. I started Bulldog in 2006. We launched in 2007. Today, Bulldog is available in, I think, more than 35 countries around the world. I'm still connected with Bulldog, but I'm increasingly now working more of my time on Waken, which we launched in 2019 in Boots and Sainsbury's. And these are the two brand logos. I'm going to talk about Bulldog in this talk in the large part. So just to talk about where Bulldog came from, first of all, it was back in, I think, 2005. I was living in New York with my girlfriend. She's now my wife, and she sent me out to a Whole Foods store. We loved Whole Foods, like the natural trend, sort of sustainable, local, cool brands were everywhere. And I was there on a very cold November's morning. I think it was snowy outside, getting some products for her from the natural skincare part of the whole body section. And there was just nothing there for men. And that just sort of triggered this idea that there could be something exciting in this space. When we looked at regular male skincare, it just seemed to us that it was a category that wasn't really working. Perhaps only 10 or 15% of men are actually using these products. And that for us came down to these sort of themes that we saw in the brands that I think meant that they weren't resonating and connecting with men. All of the packaging looked really similar. We call it a sea of blues, blacks and grays. It was really unrealistic depictions of masculinity, sort of super ripped abdominals. It's like David Beckham or other sort of superstars are sort of leading the branding for many of these companies. The language was complicated and confusing. If we sort of laid out all of the competitor brands, tried to look at the claims, couldn't really decipher really simply what it was doing. I think for a lot of men, that's a problem. Most of the brands, sort of offshoots, I think, afterthoughts of just fantastic brands, but female brands. It's like these female brand equities, for example, L'Oreal or Nivea, or in America, Neutrogena. Great brands, but first and foremost focused on sort of female skincare needs. And I think men are often treated as an afterthought. And then tacked there on the end, like last but by no means least, was just this frustration we had that this was an industry that at that point in 2005 seemed to be so old-fashioned versus all of the positive changes we saw going on more broadly sort of in society and in retail towards thinking more sustainably. So that at the very beginning was in truth an unformed thought, like it's much more codified now, but we just had this aspiration to explore natural thinking, sustainable thinking, and try and make Bulldog products in a different way to the rest of the competitive set in the places that we wanted to sell our products. Today this is much more developed, and that's been a really exciting thing personally and for the team at Bulldog to see what was there at the beginning as an aspirational flow through to a really considered, well thought out, well managed approach to sustainability. Right back in 2007, we could do things like not formulate products with microplastic cubes, balls, that are absolutely terrible in the water stream when they go out, and you often find those in face scrubs or sort of body scrubs, and we were the first brand, I think, not to use that in the men's market. But there was always things that we felt that I think back then we wanted to try and innovate in and challenge category norms in, but we were just unable to, based on the scale, based on the resource we had, and just based on our own learning and the own expertise within the team. I think today Bulldog is in multiple product categories. It's much bigger than just a skincare company. We have razors and blades, deodorant, shower gel, bar soap. We've just launched hair care. sustainability is sort of still absolutely central to what we do, but we sort of have a bigger appreciation for the complexity, and we really have to look at this on a case by case basis, a product by product basis. In spite of that, though, there's certain things that sort of inform everything we do. We talk about doing the right thing, and that is about leaving no stone unturned, like absolutely trying to interrogate everything, keep on asking questions over and over and over again until we absolutely understand the data that we're hearing and the right way for Bulldog to proceed, and also dare to lead. Like, we want to sort of inspire positive action in other brands, and we've sort of seen that at certain points in Bulldog's journey, where Bulldog, a much smaller brand, has been innovative and launched something in the market, and we've seen our much bigger competitors within a few years sort of adopt a similar technique or more sustainable solution, sort of following what we're doing, and we're just absolutely delighted by that. Some of the things that we're always thinking about is, are we working with the right partners, on whether that's on sourcing, on manufacturing, on how we deliver our products? Do they share the same values? And just being totally restless about understanding that sustainability is an aspiration and it's a journey, and that there's always opportunity for us to do things better. We can sum this up in this beautiful video, which I will just play now.
Some people reckon the world's getting smaller. Most people reckon the problem's getting bigger. Time's getting less, you're caring more. Push, pull, sends you spinning, man. 'Cause you care. But you wonder, do some people care just 'cause they should? You want it ingrained. Springs from a desire to grow. Ripples that don't slow. You want more, we get it. We really do. 'Cause we've been at this too. Life's complicated. Too much to read, to watch, to chew. Push, pull, sends you spinning, man. Till like you're gonna tumble. Don't worry, we've got you. We're there. It's in our DNA. We've tried, we've learned, we've evolved. Push, pull. We're spinning, man. Making the problem smaller, the world bigger. We make better choices, so you can too.
That's how we would sum up Bulldog from a sort of consumer perspective. It's a really complicated thing, sustainability, when you look at it through all of the different lenses that a business has to do. But from a consumer point of view, the people that love Bulldog, the people that use Bulldog, we want to sum this up as we make better choices, so you can too. And that's an ongoing narrative, sort of feedback we get from people that use our products, is they are just pleased that there is a brand that is going the extra mile to try and make it easier for them to be more sustainable when they make their choices about the products that they want to use in their bathroom and in their routine. I think often sustainability focuses a lot on packaging, and rightly so, but the discussion about sustainability for Bulldog involves a lot more than that. We're thinking about how we source, where we manufacture, all of the inputs and processes that are required from creating the products and getting them onto the shelves of the retailers or into our customers' homes. But packaging is such an important thing, and it's a key area where I think we've been able to be innovative and try new things. And I'll just talk about that for a little bit now. Yeah, I think the key thing is one size didn't fit all. Every product we develop, there's a series of unique choices that we have to sort of understand, like what is the right solution from the perspective of sustainability to package this particular product. And the other thing we've got to marry off, at every decision point, is we also have to deliver to our other values too. We need these products to be fantastic quality, because that's so important for the men. They absolutely have to work, perform brilliantly, and we also have to sort of deliver within the packaging that we choose these fantastic natural formulas, really expensive formulas, really high quality formulas powered by the best of science, but also the best of nature. We have to deliver this fantastic quality and get them to customers in a sort of first first grade experience when they use it, but we also have to do it at an affordable cost. We never wanted Bulldog to be a brand that was super expensive and out of reach of men broadly. We want our products to be in all of the stores where men or the women that shop for men are buying these products, and that meant that price and affordability is a really key factor too. So sustainability, absolutely important, and we have to sort of address it in the whole. And all of these things have come together to sort of think that we've decided that we need to have a different solution for different products we use. So, for example, when it comes to our skincare products, we're using plastic. We have different plastic solutions for different products, whether that's our sugarcane and PCR roots for different parts of the product assortment. We were the first male skincare brand to work with sugarcane plastic tubes, which is something we're really, really proud about. When it comes to shower gels and hair care, we're using 100% post-consumer recycled plastic, which is also an incredibly important thing that the industry should be doing more of. When it came to our foaming shave gels, that's often a point where you'll find these foaming shave gels in canisters. We didn't like the sort of the inherent compromises in the conventional form of that. So we worked with a manufacturer to develop a solution that's powered by air. With our razors and blades, it's all about using recycled beer glass at the moment. It's been a fantastic product launch that builds on the success we had launching a razors and blades system with bamboo handles. Overall, both of these razor systems, the bamboo and the glass, have dramatically less plastic in them, which is really important within razors and blades. And we're at any opportunity wherever we can, we're using FSC certified cardboard to if we're not using plastic, and it is a situation where we can use cardboard, we're making sure we're sourcing that and in an appropriate way and in a sustainable way. So packaging, I think the good news is 73% of Britons prefer to buy products that are environmentally friendly, and I think that's something that it's probably quite a mainstream thought now. I think that's something we noticed really early on with Bulldog, that this wasn't just something that was important to us, the founders and the team, were actually being able to reflect the values of the people that use Bulldog in these choices that we make too. And it's been a really brilliant journey, as I think the brand has grown up with all of these sort of actively interested consumers that are sort of after more sustainable products. To talk through some of the individual decisions just a little bit more, the shocking thing about sort of plastic as a whole is that 99% of the plastic that's ever been made has come from non-renewable fossil fuels. So that's a huge issue. This never sat right with us as a brand, but at the beginning of Bulldog's journey, it was something that we just didn't really have a solution to. We were the first male skincare brand, I think, in 2017 to sort of figure out a different way to do that. We work with a brilliant company in Brazil. It's situated a long way away from the Amazon. Sugarcane is a fantastic a resource. It doesn't involve very, very, very minimal human intervention when it's grown. It sort of just needs its sort of typical annual rainfall. As this sugarcane is turned to ethanol, into alcohol, we can take that and turn it into polyethylene. That is means that we can get our plastic without ever having to touch fossil fuels, no petroleum sources to sort of create this plastic. And it's really good that when we've measured it and we've got more sophisticated with the data, we can see that this type of plastic means that overall our carbon emissions are down by 19%. PCR plastic, post-consumer recycled plastic. It's a shocking stat. 8.3 billion metric tons of plastic that have been produced globally to date. 6.3 billion tons of that has become plastic waste. Presumably most of it is in landfill or in the oceans, regrettably. So we think that this is the right packaging material for these products is plastic, but we've been able to figure out a way to do this with 100% recycled PET plastic. And not just that, I just think they look absolutely fantastic. Like I don't think there's any form of compromise, whatever, in the technical performance of these plastics or in the way that they look and the way that sort of consumers can feel proud about these products. Just of note, we've also put an innovative pigment into the caps. It's been a problem historically that sometimes black plastic caps won't get picked up in recycling and will end up going into the waste stream. These pigments that we've put into the cap will mean that the Bulldog shower gel caps and shampoo caps will get noticed and will get recycled in an appropriate way. I think another area that we'll all have to sort of collectively wrap our hands around is this idea of monoplastics. I mean, this here is a recent launch into deodorant, and typically these sorts of products with the rollerball in the middle, the cap and the sort of the main casing will be made of a different plastic to the plastic that's used for the ball that sits within the deodorant to sort of deliver the deodorant to the person that's using it. And the fact that these are different plastics means that neither of the plastics will end up getting recycled. It's a really big theme in sort of the European approach to trying to create a greener economy, is this pursuit of monoplastic packaging solutions. We're delighted that at Bulldog, I think we're the first brand to be doing this in a mainstream way in the male market. It's something that we're really pleased about. It's one of those things that I think the great majority of people that enjoy using these products haven't quite clocked yet, but it's a really important thing behind the scenes to try and make these products more sustainable. And of course, where we can, and we think that there is a solution not to use plastic, that will be something that we'll absolutely do. I mean, it's definitely a big theme that we're picking up more and more, that British consumers are trying to reduce the amount of plastic waste when it comes to skincare and cosmetics. I think 27% we saw in a recent research report are trying to reduce plastic waste when it comes to personal care. That's amazing, and we would love that percentage to be much, much higher. So where we can, taking plastic out of the way we package products has also been a huge theme, and it's something that you can see here on pictured, the original bar soaps and the family of brilliant soaps that we've launched containing no plastic at all. It's probably more appropriate when we talk about this being more disruptive, when we talk about what Bulldog's done in razors and blades. This was such a fun project, but again, it was something that we could never do right at the beginning of Bulldog's journey. We were looking at the razor blade market in America. We don't have equivalent stats for the UK, but in America, I think it's something like 2 billion plastic razor blade handles go to landfill every year. And it's not just the primary objects that we have to think about, though. There was this huge problem in razors and blades with the secondary packaging. Like, often the razor blades sit on a sort of plastic sleigh, and then within that they'll be packaged in this big plastic oyster pack that you have to get your scissors out to sort of break open. It was a really unsatisfactory consumer experience, just the unboxing, and so much plastic waste housing these plastic razor blade handles. So that was the challenge that we took on, to try and disrupt, to try and offer people something a bit different. We've used 2 different materials. We've used bamboo, which has been amazing, sourced in a really sustainable way. It's actually a grass, often mistook as a wood, but it replenishes itself. It doesn't die after it's been harvested. Fantastic materials for a razor blade. For a razor handle. It's got a sort of natural resistance to water. It looks really, really cool. And then latterly, we've just launched razor blade handles made from glass. We're taking, I think it's up to 70% glass that goes into these handles is made from recycled beer bottles. And again, they look super cool. They're very disruptive. You can totally buy into these products, I think, even if sustainability wasn't front of mind. But from a sustainability perspective, the primary product has dramatically less plastic in when it comes to delivering a fantastic shave. And then the secondary packaging, I talked about those sort of plastic clamp plaques. We use cardboard board to put the products in. I think they look really super cool as well, and we're just delighted. We've seen other brands sort of follow this lead too. So yeah, here are the new glass razors which are talking about. They're just fantastic. I've got a little quick video here to play. So packaging is really important, the choices that brands make and how that flows through to how you're manufacturing, how you're sourcing. But of course, end of life is, I think, going to be, an emerging narrative when it comes to how people are sort of trying to think about the products that they choose and the companies that they want to support. We have always thought about that. I think a lot of consumers would tell us that it was a bit of a lottery they felt when it came to recycling. They're sort of typical curbside recycling. We'd get lots of questions coming in like, will my products, if I put them in my recycling bin, get recycled? I think in truth, it is a bit different. It's a bit of a patchwork answer across the country about whether local authorities will recycle a certain plastic or not. And then secondly, I think there's a growing realization that plastics that are recycled from curbside pickup can be downcycled. They end up into a plastic that's from a lower quality, or ends up as a plastic that's sort of a lower quality than the plastic that is being recycled. We've just launched our first mile recycling scheme. It's an awesome scheme. Hopefully people can use envelopes that they already have they can send the products back to us with our partners at First Mile. There's a free post address so that it doesn't cost them any money. A really cool thing about this process is it's carbon neutral. Microwave pyrolysis, take the tubes, turn them back into the pelts. There's a gas that is released that's captured, and that's used to power the whole process. This for us is really, really cool. We can actually close the loop on our products because we're using a particular type of sugarcane plastic to make the tubes. We can say that we can get our tubes back, we can put them through this process, and we can return it, and then we can make more tubes. It's an absolutely fantastic scheme. We're just getting going with it. There's loads more information about this on our website. So if this is something that people want to learn more about, perhaps apply to their own businesses, I'd thoroughly endorse it as a route. It's been a fantastic experience setting this up. I think the final thing that I'd just like to talk about is carbon neutrality. I think this is a really important scheme for brands to get involved with. And I think that for a few reasons. I think you can think about this from the perspective of offsetting emissions, but that's only really part of the process. I think the great value that we've taken at Bulldog or from this process is just getting to grips with learning more about the choices that we've historically made. It's got to be an incredibly data-led process. We have taken a sort of perspective where we're constantly measuring and seeing how we can improve, and then we can apply learnings to some of our products to the rest of our business. It's been a journey in that we started with our best-selling product, our original moisturizer in the UK, and then we applied it to all of the moisturizers in the UK. So that was step one for us, to get all of our moisturizers, which is still our key product group, certified as carbon neutral in the UK. And then we were able to look at the implications of our international business, understand the additional complexities that come with that part of what Bulldog's up to. And the second point for us was to get all of our original moisturizer also certified as carbon neutral in France and Germany. I think to date we've got here close to 530 tons of CO2. I think the fantastic thing is the data and the learning and the insight that we've been able to generate by sort of looking at this really sequentially means that we're now able to offset our emissions, which is really important, but we're able to sort of constantly be looking at what we're doing and trying to reduce our carbon footprint overall. And that has to be the end game for me as well, is an ongoing assessment with a view to reducing your carbon footprint overall. Offsetting, of course, is important. We work with a charity, a project in the Amazonian rainforest focused on sort of local education and preventing deforestation. So we make better choices so that you can too. That is the spirit that pervades all of the innovation decisions and discussions at Bulldog as we think about existing products, how we can make them better, and the new products that we want to go into. If you have any questions about what I've spoken to with Bulldog, we would love to pick up on those in the Q&A, or please just get in touch with the brand directly. I did just want to talk about my new company. As I said, it has many of similar characteristics. This is a new mouthwash brand called Waken. We're taking on the likes of Listerine and Colgate. I talked about male skincare being very old-fashioned in the way it thought about sustainability back in 2005 when we started Bulldog. I look at the dental category now, single-use plastics, the sort of the view of sustainability within this particular industry. It is so behind almost anywhere else in beauty, personal care, so detached, I think, from wellness and sort of this trend towards more environmentally conscious thinking when it comes to the decisions that have informed how these brands have grown and their businesses at the moment. So Waken launched natural, sustainably packaged mouthwashes, absolutely delicious, alcohol-free products in Sainsbury's and Boots, and we're now in sort of many other retailers, and we're just in the process of launching new products. This is how we launched our strawberry and mint mouthwash for Valentine's Day. And if you are lucky enough to have tasted these products, we have 9 delicious flavors. In terms of sustainability, we're using sugarcane plastic and post-consumer recycled plastic. You can see just on the left there, that stainless steel sipping cup, that is as an alternative to those sort of terrible caps that you may be using on other mouthwash brands. We're also working on, other dental categories that will make, I hope, similarly sort of distinctive and more sustainable packaging choices as we reach out to some of the other product categories that we'd like to do. We're also certified carbon neutral, and actually we partnered with the same third-party group, Natural Capital Partners, to sort of deliver the auditing, help us with the data, help us with the measurement. And when it comes to offsetting, we're also doing that with the same charitable partner in the Amazon. What I hope with Waken is just getting started, but I hope that Waken can grow into a brand that is famous for sustainable thinking, and it can be equally as disruptive, against all these huge companies in the dental space, just as Bulldog's been able to do, and sort of be a brand that sort of banging the drum for change on all of these different dimensions in the male grooming category. So thank you very much for listening to me today. It's great to be involved in Cosmetics Business Live in this virtual format, and I'd love to carry on the conversation with you, as soon as we can. Thank you very much.